Has Radovid's messenger been by?
Yes, sir.
And what did he say?
Temeria cannot survive. The kingdom will be divided. The nobles are riled. Constable Natalis stands on shaky ground.
The loyal old Natalis will get kicked in the arse. How predictable.
They nearly reached an agreement, but without Foltest's daughter, it didn't work out.
Perfect. Are the quarters ready?
There is a little problem.
Then we must look at this problem. There's no door.
We can't lock her in a doorless cell.
I can see that, you fool. Out of my way. Uncle Deathmold will cast a tiny spell on your little house. Versa Anem. Nilfgaard's most precious gift. Clear up in here. This is Loch Muin, not a bloody pigsty.
Oh, bollocks, Geralt. Marshal Raupenek was a cruel, bloodthirsty prick, true. But the times were different.
He had his men murder every last elf in Loch Muin.
For years, Yorveth and his ilk have been using that banner to wipe their asses clean of the shit they do. In wartime, a commander's forced to make all kinds of decisions. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it lay really heavily on Raupenek's conscience.
Bollocks again. I've already admitted he was a prick. Are you defending the Enshe? They've got barrels of blood on their hands as well. With the Vrans gone, we had to safeguard this source of the power, safeguard this historic city. Huh, elven drivel. Heaps of lizard-like bones were found in nearby caves, all bearing traces of sword cuts. Think what you will. I'm more interested in the city's current inhabitants.
Why am I worried you're going to do something really stupid once we get there?
Above all, I'll find the cure to my suffering.
Deathmold was just a pawn in Henselt's hands.
Deathmold is a bloody murderer, and Henselt was a king. A king I killed. He didn't believe I'd do it till the very end. Nor did I. It's not something I want to discuss again. I don't know if I'll ever strike those images from my mind, but I know I don't want to talk about it.
Taking revenge on Deathmold won't change a thing.
Oh, but it will. The ghosts of my comrades will drink to my health.
You also lost your king, Vernon. Don't forget why you embarked on this mission.
I haven't. If Letho and Sheila are in Loch Muin, they'll never leave it alive.
This is the last place I'd expect to see Knights of the Flaming Rose.
They're here with Radovid. After losing their foothold in Temeria, they rebuilt their position at the Redanian court. You best stay out of sight. You never know with those bigots.
Don't worry about the Knights. Not so long ago I saved their asses. They ought to remember that much.
That was before you were accused of regicide. This is no man's land, Geralt. Anything can happen here. I'll vouch for you where I can, but that'll only get you so far. If we're separated, we'll meet up again in the main square.
Fine.
Halt! Who goes there?
Vernon Roche and Geralt of Rivia, in the service of Temeria.
Foltest's killer in the service of Temeria.
Foltest's killer is in Loch Muin. Geralt of Rivia will help me capture him.
Since you're Knights of the Order, is there a Ponce named Siegfried among you?
There is indeed.
Tell him I'm here. He's sure to be pleased to see me.
And why is that?
Well, he wouldn't be Grand Master if it wasn't for me.
Come through then.
Looks like Radovid doesn't believe the peace talks will end peacefully.
You can be sure of one thing.
I remember.
Geralt of Rivia. I'd sooner expect to see you in a Temerian dungeon.
Been there. Didn't much like it. Though it would be perfect for the man Vernon Roche and I are looking for.
I've heard much about the commander of the Blue Stripes.
I'm honored to meet the Grand Master.
A position I owe most certainly to Geralt.
Only you can guide the Order through the necessary reforms.
We are doing our best. You've got yourself into a fine pickle, Geralt.
You don't really believe what they say, do you?
Only a fool could take you for a Kingslayer. On the other hand, fools are never in short supply.
What are you doing here?
Let's say I'm here just in case.
I heard these were peace talks.
Peace is very easy to discuss, much harder to maintain.
What are your orders?
Radovid is a young king with all the necessary qualities to become a great leader. We aim to make this a reality.
Gaining nothing by it?
He has granted us land. The Order does not bite the hand that feeds it.
So, you're to intervene if the talks don't go Redania's way.
I believe diplomacy will prevail. At a summit, everyone is pulling their way. Things can get heated. Knowledge that Knights of the Order are stationed just outside the city walls should prevent the situation from getting out of hand.
What can we expect to see in Loch Muin?
The delegations have entrenched themselves in their districts, erected barricades as if preparing for a siege.
You can never be too careful. So long, Siegfried. The mages invested quite a bit in putting this summit together. By the look of things, they'll achieve what they set out to achieve. That doesn't bother you?
The Order will refrain from reacting for the time being. And the Conclave itself is not a bad idea.
Easier to keep an eye on them when they're together.
And when they follow a shared set of rules. After Thanedd they dispersed and each did as he or she pleased. We even heard that some engaged in forbidden magic practices.
I guess you won't stay out of it if that happens again.
We trust that with a strong, well-established conclave, the mages will regulate those matters on their own.
I doubt you've changed your minds about non-humans, but what about humans? What about all the peasant revolts, the lynchings of nobles?
The Order espouses and safeguards certain values and virtues. We cannot stand by and watch them violated.
So you're prepared to get drawn into new wars?
Well, we are soldiers first and monks second.
I'm going to the Redanian camp. If you want to look around, I'll meet you near Radovid's headquarters.
All right.
I don't believe you killed Foltest.
I didn't.
But a bounty is a bounty. I'm sure you understand. As a professional. It's nothing personal.
One more windbag.
Geralt of Rivia, I am delighted to see you among the living and the free.
Are you serious, Count?
Such an injustice to lock you up without so much as a hearing, and then the beatings, the torture. It's barbaric, I tell you, based on pure prejudice, the presumption of guilt.
Actually, if I'd seen what they saw.
But alas, such is my homeland, filled with fear and thus ruthless, cold as stone, dark and severe in aura and mindset.
I suppose there's some truth to that.
A response at once cautious and reasonable. Admirable qualities in and of themselves, positively required in your profession.
If you say so.
But tell me, Witcher, what brings you here? Are you nipping at the heels of Foltest's killer, close to beheading the wretch, as I expect is your style? Do you require my assistance?
I just have some questions, Count.
Well, ask away by all means. I am finding you a skilled, if slightly reticent, conversationalist.
I've got to say you stand out, Count.
I'm flattered, I suppose, but what specifically do you mean?
I haven't quite put my finger on it, but take a look around. Would you say you resemble your countrymen?
I thank the gods I do not. It is because I love my homeland that I am the first to note its faults, and they are many.
Care to elaborate?
Hypocrisy, superstition, lack of learning. Need I go on?
If you wouldn't mind.
Take you witchers, for instance. The gods know we suffer a plague of beasts, pre-conjunction, post-conjunction, magically bred and sprung from rotting marshes and the dark abysses of our land.
No such thing as pre-conjunction creatures.
You bite unnecessarily. We have but one remedy for this plague, dwindling in numbers as it may be, yet it is a remedy we revile. You are shunned, spat upon, turned away on stormy nights. Would you say this is reasonable?
It's the way of things.
Spoken like a true representative of a dying species.
What brings you to Loch Muin?
Concern for my country, Witcher, and an express and somewhat surprising request from Constable Natalis.
Surprising. How so?
Surely you jest, Witcher? Truth be told, few could marshal loyal forces matching mine on such short order, Baron Kimbolt excepted. Yet, though I very much held Foltest's trust, I cannot say that many of my Temerian peers feel the same way.
Why do you suppose that is?
They resent me. I share neither their customs nor their beliefs. Hell's bells, who do we have here? Witcher Geralt, the seeker of square coins.
What do you want?
Last time Zivik stuck his nose in. This time, he's not around. Fight!
Semper Fi! We serve faithfully and effectively. If anyone without this, I shall skin him alive. The Emperor will well by you. Understood? Formation! Forward!
I'll get you, snitch.
Don't try this again. I'm collecting information about the Wild Hunt. Help me out?
The Wild Hunt? A retinue of wraiths who speed across the heavens upon skeletal horses. Positive proof of its existence has yet to be proffered. However, no one is prepared to deny its occasional sorties into this world.
Proffered? Sorties?
That, at least, is what I remember from the lectures.
Ready for your chat with Radovid.
I need to look round Loch Muin some more.
All right, but don't take too long. Our matters can't wait forever.
How are things?
You're either very unobservant or very rude. I thought I'd meet some of my colleagues from years past, chat with them and reminisce, but they all turn their heads away and treat me like air.
Mages aren't known for being polite.
You're telling me. They threw me out of Banard the first chance they got. Must have beaten the Chancellor one too many times. They've all forgotten me, and I believe I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the grimoires and amulets. I don't want anything to do with mages.
I'd like to cast an eye at those if you don't mind.
Sure. Cast both if you want.
Anything on the Wild Hunt in your collection?
I'd avoid the topic altogether. Nothing good has ever come to those who have delved.
I'll take my chances. I need to know why the wraiths carry off youths. What happens to them?
This knowledge has never been recorded, which does not mean it cannot be acquired.
Well, I'd like to acquire it.
In the chasms beneath Loch Muin, there is a sword that once belonged to an elf from the parallel world.
And nobody's gone to look for it?
There are mages who seek it still, but the sword is well concealed. They say he who handles it will understand the essence of the wild hunt. Could that be true, though?
I'm Geralt.
Brass of Banard. I remember you from Thanedd. I believe I saw you in Oxenfurt, too.
Seems we only ever meet on Elvenland.
Indeed. But I suspect you're not here to chat about elven ruins.
On the contrary, I find elven ruins interesting.
Do you really? Elven works are not half as interesting as gnomish ones.
But even ruined, Loch Muin is impressive. It must have been beautiful in the times of the First Conclave.
Everything was better before the war, as they say.
The sources. Those children that old Geoffrey Monk brought here to train in the magic arts must have walked around gaping at all they saw.
Somehow I just can't imagine Hen Gedimdeath as a small gawking boy.
You met him? Ah, right, on Thanedd. His death was a terrible loss. Terrible. You see, Geralt, everyone complains about how the world is taking a turn for the worse.
Values are being compromised. The small is dislodging the great.
Exactly. But the events on Thanedd truly marked the end of an era. The world grew up, losing its virginity in a rape.
What use are masters of magic and legendary heroes to a grown-up world?
They're of no use. That's the point. Today, people manage perfectly well without mages, witches, and heroes.
Yet not everyone understands that, and not everyone likes it.
You're so clever you'll get in trouble. We'd best change the subject.
Actually, I'm here because of your weapon expertise.
I'm no expert.
You're the best swordsmith among mages.
I'm more interested in the cultural relics of other races, actually.
I'm going to need a solid cultural relic in my hand.
I guess the circumstances require haste.
I'm interested in the wild hunt. Any chance you know something about it?
No, birds are not exactly my speciality.
Thanks. I came upon this strange manuscript. Think you can help me with it?
Why, yes. I don't believe I'm mistaken. Do you realize what you hold in your hands?
A mage told me it's the key to an ancient ritual that summons evil specters who otherwise wander the earth doing no good. Specters apparently willing to make deals.
Well, the mage was full of bilge, so to speak. You see, the Vrans knew well how to secure their treasures. It is said that in some places they left sentries. Now, these sentries come to life when someone draws near who possesses a scroll inscribed with words of power, like this one is. Provide the correct password, and the doors to a hidden vault open before you.
So how do I use the manuscript?
Nothing comes free, my friend. You needn't even know the meaning of the words for the sentry to let you pass. You must merely know the sequence in which the password must be read. In this case, we have a sentence. Nana kanpa zi udu ya lala gat exa nana zi udu zi gat kanpa nibit. Nana kanpa means forge ahead, while nana zi means backtrack. In summary, should you encounter a sentry who reacts to this scroll, you must first answer with the words that follow Nana Kanpa in their given sequence, then omit Nana Zi, and conclude with all the words that follow this phrase, but in reverse order.
Not that complicated, actually. Thanks for your help.
It's a brazen attack.
Greetings. Nice place.
Many thanks for the compliment. Welcome to the Eternal Fire.
Kitchen open day and night?
It's not that kind of fire. The Eternal Fire is the light of truth, the hearth of a true community. Only in the Eternal Fire beneath the sign of this clan can we burn witches all day and man is fellow man.
What do you want?
The mages are making a country fair out of this summit.
They're parasites who'll stop at nothing to get into the king's treasuries. Deathmold's one of them. He'll be on their side, and Kedwin's vote should count for a lot. Though Henselt would have quickly shown them reason. He was a great ruler. The world will go to pot if only fools and brats are left to rule it.
They're also going to discuss what to do given the assassinations.
Aye, a new world order. You know the drill. I see all those cowardly, petty knights and bloody mages and wonder where the human race is going.
Forward. Blindly down a steep slope. But for now, the clip of air is more fun than it is terrifying. You're not in the Kedweni camp?
Those Redanian pigs tricked us, as usual. They took the best buildings, leaving us the rat-infested ruins. It's better out here in the square. A right good show. Messengers running back and forth, delegates grinning at each other while thinking of slitting each other's throats, and lots of gold changing hands. A lot of armed men around. The kingdoms are trying to look menacing. People like me'll soon have work to do.
Nice to meet an optimist. Really raises the spirit. Tell me what you know about those gargoyles that are bothering you.
They were servants of the mages who once lived in Loch Muin. The mages left, but the gargoyles remained behind. They're still lethal. The quarters they guard are simply inaccessible.
Ready for your chat with Radovid.
No reason to delay it.
Follow me then.
Halt!
We're here to meet King Radovid.
Have you been granted an official audience?
No, but we have some very important news for him.
I cannot let you through to see the king.
The Grand Master of the Order of the Flaming Rose will vouch for us. Besides, this camp is swarming with soldiers. We'd have to be stupid or suicidal to attack Radovid.
Pass then, if your news is so important. But one word from the king and you'll hang. Both of you.
Don't you worry about us. Temeria stands little chance of surviving if Radovid has made terms with Kedwen.
Even less if he's made a pact with Nilfgaard. He and the Emperor could divide the entire north between them.
I take pleasure in seeing Kedwen picked apart.
But they'd start with the country deepest in chaos, so you'd best hope nothing of that sort has happened.
Did you request an audience with the king?
Yes.
The king will receive you.
Geralt of Rivia.
Your Majesty.
As usual, you turn up where and when you're least expected. And in such company. I never thought they'd make a soldier out of you.
Vernon Roche is a friend. He's in uniform, sure, but that's meaningless.
The world has changed greatly since we met those few months ago. Temeria stands at the brink of civil war. Kedwen has taken the Pontar Valley by force, and a Nilfgaardian delegation plays a prominent role at the summit of the Northern Kingdoms. Voltest and Demavend are both dead. Though it seems we were signing treaties just yesterday. Henselt was butchered in Vergen.
What's the delegation from Nilfgaard doing here?
Henselt invited them. Before he died. Shillard Fitz-Hestelan would never miss an opportunity like this one. He'll come to the talks and stage his favourite drama.
Why did you bring the Knights of the Order here, Your Majesty?
The Order of the Flaming Rose is here to ensure that the talks remain peaceful. We wish to avoid a second Thanedd.
I've come here for help, Your Majesty.
Wait, Witcher. Were it not for you, Henselt would have perished at the hands of an assassin. Am I right?
My reputation precedes me yet again.
From soldier to soldier, from whores to barons, right up to the royal ears.
Why do you ask about him, Your Majesty?
Mere curiosity. But I understand if you'd rather not talk about it. Do you know how he died?
I wasn't there.
The first lie of the day, and the negotiations have yet to begin. How can I help you if you're not honest with me?
Henselt had Roche's unit murdered. I can't call it anything else. In doing that, he signed his own death sentence. In the chaos that followed the Battle of Vergen, we caught up to him in one of the houses.
I killed him because it had to be done. It was just. And Deathmold is next on the list.
That is the only reason I won't have you hanged, Vernon Roach. You said you needed help, Witcher. Tell me more.
If Temeria is in turmoil, then who has arrived to represent it?
Constable Natalis, the hero of Brenner, which is good. His presence is like a slap on Shillard's face delivered by the North.
Who's representing Kedwen?
Only the sorcerer Deathmold and his men are in Lochmuin. But Deathmold represents himself.
Sheila de Tanserville is behind the murderers that hit Temeria, Eddern, and Kedwen.
How do you know?
I found one of the assassins after Henselt's murder. Before he died, he revealed de Tanserville's role to me.
Why you in particular?
He knew me from the time I can't remember.
Your past troubles me, Geralt, but I have more pressing matters today. It all makes sense. Shillard Fitzestellen warned me about a plot. Apparently, Triss Merigold confessed to him that the sorceresses had set up a secret lodge.
Triss is working with Shillard?
She's been detained as a suspect. Shillard believes the sorceresses of Nilfgaard were also part of the conspiracy. Luckily, the entire amphitheatre is under a spell that quells any magic. Otherwise, no one would dare go near all those mages. Well, the talk's beckon. Everyone wants to see Temeria's bitter end.
What do you mean by that, Your Majesty?
The nobles are rebelling in Vizima. Lacking a ruler, they simply want to divide the kingdom into provinces.
Divide Temeria! Shame on the traitors!
Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Anais, the daughter of Louisa and Foltest, lives still. After the Baroness's rebellion, the girl was captured by the Nilfgaardians. The child has become a bargaining chip between the Empire and Kedwen. My people tell me Anais is here in Lochmuin, in Deathmold's hands. I cannot mount an armed attack on the Kedwenis. It would be tantamount to declaring war, and we have gathered here to maintain peace. A lone witcher and a former soldier. That would be a different matter. Bring me Anais, Geralt, and I'll salvage a united Temeria, and punish those whose hands are stained with the Temerian king's blood.
Why does Deathmold need Foltest's daughter?
The girl has become entirely dependent on him, which will strengthen his position in the Conclave. Remember, he who has Anais will have the upper hand today. The girl is most important, Witcher. I would look after her. Take her back to Tretogor in Redania, where she would mature under the caring gaze of her half-sister and my wife Ada. When she's of age, she can claim the throne and thus guarantee Temeria's sovereignty. I must attend these talks, Geralt. Time is short. Bring me the girl, the two of you. Men without country or commander. Renegades that no one seems to have taken into account. I, in turn, promise that Sheila de Tanserville will pay for her deeds. I shall punish her with fire and steel.
Our only chance of preserving Temeria's independence.
It's still risky.
Anais, she's the key.
I still wonder about Boosie's death. The boy would have had a stronger claim to the throne.
Maybe Anais can tell us something. It's high time we visited our old friend, Deathmold.
The Emperor's men hold Triss. They'll get everything they can out of her, after which she'll be dispensable.
If it's between the sorceress's life and Temeria's future, then I've no choice. I'm sorry. This is not the place to talk. Let's wait till we're beyond the gate.
Roach! Roach!
Just the person I'd be looking for were I not forced to seek Anais Lavalette. You have much to explain, Brigida Paperbrook.
Oh no, you'll not pin this on me. I trusted you and you sent me into a den of vipers. Vipers!
Another Vess?
This is no time for pleasantries, Geralt. Calm yourself, Brigida. You were to watch Foltest's children. I saw nothing dangerous in the task. Obviously, I was wrong. But I need your help. Anais has been kidnapped. Busi is likely dead. I need to know how this happened. I need to know the details.
You knew well what you were getting me into. You know that entire rotting bunch. The Count, the Baron.
Not half as well as you do, my dear. Who were those men?
Not so fast, Roach. I have been hiding in this city for 3 days, scurrying about like a rat. They're hunting me. I'll not let you leave me here.
What do you propose?
Escort me out of the city, to the river.
What will that get you?
I expected I would need to fend for myself. I've secured passage. Take me there, and I will tell you all.
It's a long way.
You've a traitor in your camp, Roach. Perhaps more than one. What happened to Foltest's bastards is no series of coincidences. It's the result of a clever, treacherous game.
Damn it all. Geralt, I need to look to Anais, learn how we're to get to her. But Brigida might know what happened to Busi. Thus far, we've heard nothing but rumors. Take her to the river.
All right, Roach. I'll help you this one last time.
I'll search for a back way into the Kedweni camp.
You're forgetting. I came here for Triss.
Whatever you decide to do later, so be it. But a traitor in the Temerian camp threatens us all. Escort Brigida, learn what you can.
I'd thank you, Roach, if you weren't such a shit.
I'm counting on you, Geralt. Brigida must get to her destination safely.
Good luck, Roach. Which way are we headed?
We shall leave Loch Muin through the Order's camp. We won't be bothered there. Then we'll descend the mountain path and go onto the river. Who knows what we'll find?
Expecting someone?
Does it matter,
Geralt
Witcher?
the Rivian!
Did mention the Vipers, the Count and the Baron.
Blessed
Maribel
be
and
the
Finbold.
eternal...
Powerful men, important to the Temerian camp, and thin and scrupulous.
Vernon's mentioned them. I guess I have them to thank for an interesting chat Roach and I had a while back. Know them well.
Too early to pry, Witcher. I'll not let you pick my brain and abandon me.
The main path leads to the right.
That's where they're likely to be waiting.
Roach would say they'd be waiting along both paths.
Roach. You're with me, not him. And I decide for myself. I've agreed to meet someone on the riverbank. We'll go through the wood. Calm thus far. Your dear Roach seems to have been wrong.
You two have a history, or do I have it wrong?
He asked a favor of me. I was to stay with Foltest's children, watch them, travel with them if necessary. Child's play, the bastard called it. That's how I wound up in the caravan transporting the children to Loch Muin for the summit.
Yeah, that clearly went sour. Tell me more.
Soon enough. We've just got to make it through the forest. It's a short way to the river beyond that. It should be calm.
Let's go.
It's not far now. Redlin awaits down by the river, at the end of this path.
Is Redlin another of Roach's contacts?
No, a smuggler. I'd be looking for another way out if he were Roach's man.
Stay behind me.
It's Roach's bitch! Kill them!
No time to lose. How much further?
Not far. We must stay on this path. It's the shortest way.
You've gotten into some serious trouble.
I should say so. Temeria is like a haystack, and the information I have is a burning torch. Fill the rest in for yourself. This is the smuggler I spoke of.
This was the smuggler you spoke of. Someone's coming.
You'll not sail off, you whore! Kill her!
Thank you. I'd not have survived on my own.
Talk, woman. You've dragged me far away from the city. You owe me an explanation. Who were those men? Who have you been hiding from?
I don't know.
3 days like a rat, you said, and you don't know?
I knew. I mean, I had my suspicions.
So talk. Who's out to kill you?
I don't know.
There you go again.
Truly, I cannot be sure. At first I thought it was revenge for the children. But he knows I'm no traitor.
It's not Roach. We both know that.
Yes. You're right.
What happened to the convoy carrying Anais and Busi? What about the children?
We were ambushed. The caravan was destroyed.
I need details.
We were traveling along the agreed path, with a limited escort so as not to draw attention. The children were in 2 separate wagons, a safety measure, I was told.
Which one were you in?
I was with Anais. One day a messenger appeared with orders for the caravan's commander. A change of plans. We turned north to travel a longer route for safety's sake. Soon after the turnoff, we were attacked. The attackers were killing everyone indiscriminately. One pulled me from the wagon, but a bolt pierced his neck. It was mayhem. I ran for the bushes and hid.
Did you see what happened to the children?
The driver of Busi's wagon was shot. The horses got spooked and ran off into the forest, taking the wagon with them. When the fighting was done, they found Anais still in her wagon. I turned away for fear of what they might do. They nearly grabbed her and fled.
Any idea what happened to the caravan commander's orders?
I have them. After they took Anais, the bastards were in a hurry. They didn't even think to search the corpses. Take them.
Thanks. Sure you can manage that boat?
I must. I'll not return to the city. Thank you again, Witcher. And follow this through. You'll do us all a favor.
Uh-oh! Trouble!
Roach may trust you, but I'm not so sure. What do you want?
Representatives of the Council of Regents. Did any come with you?
Only Baron Kimbolt and Count Maravel. The other 5 remain in Vizima. It seems that save Baron Orval, most spend their time trying to devise a way to undermine Anais's claim to the throne.
Kimbolt and Maravel. What's their stance?
Well, they've taken opposing positions, as one might expect. The Baron believes Anais's origin, if you will, stands in the way of her taking the throne, though it's common knowledge that he would simply prefer to seat himself on it. Whereas Maravel has said that Foltest's children have his full support. He stated this in Vizima before the entire council. One thing is certain, words come cheap. Those 2 may change their minds in a flash if Anais is found and recovered.
Impressive summit, but not all the players have their representatives here.
The most important do. The mages thought about inviting everyone, but time is short.
What about Edirn? It's a huge country.
Torn by conflict and rebellion with no clear ruler. They're not to be taken seriously at this point.
Sounds like the Kedweni point of view. The Edirnians see it differently, I'm sure. The mages will want to get as much as they can out of this summit, and monarchs don't generally like others dictating terms. This may end in a row.
There will be no row. The mages now rely on the mercy of the northern kingdoms.
The amphitheater itself is also protected by an anti-magic shield, like the one used at Thanedd.
The times of mage impunity are gone. They will be shown their place.
There's a traitor among the Temerians.
Careful, Witcher. You'd better have evidence if you plan to accuse someone of treason.
Busi and Anais.
Yes?
Anais was kidnapped on Baron Kimbolt's orders.
Have you any proof?
A letter I got from Brigitte Pepperbrock.
Dame Pepperbrock is alive?
Yeah, but she's far away by now.
Kimbolt's signature and official seal. It does appear the Baron arranged everything. I'm grateful to you, Witcher. So you see, Count, I find myself in an unenviable position, one in which I require the support of your forces in arresting Baron Kimbolt.
Baron Kimbolt, a child slayer. Gods protect us.
Can I rely on you, Count?
The very thought of standing against a highborn peer fills me with trepidation. But a crime this cruel cannot go unpunished. Consider myself and my forces at your disposal, John Natalis.
You lose something.
Are you the mighty Numa?
Who's asking?
Someone who wants to see if your nickname suits you.
Then come to the circus and watch me rip off the ploughing chains wrapped round my body.
You've got a big mouth.
And you've pissed off the mighty Numa. Put down your coin and give me your hand.
I've always been the curious sort.
They say witches are tough, but you? In the circus, you could maybe kick a clown's arse.
Pangrat warned me that you cheat.
What would that slut for sale know about the mighty Numa?
I expect sluts for sale know the likes of you best. Fact is, you could only get that kind of strength from potions.
Fuck you! You're as loaded with potions as squirrel shit is with nuts!
I was clean during our bout. You're a con. They should call you Numa the Cheater.
One more word and I'll shove your tongue so deep down your throat it'll come out your arsehole.
How will you do that? You'll lose your coordination when you're headless.
Why the aggro? I don't need any aids. I'm still the best without them.
Let me guess.
Behold, the mighty Numa, and I am his apprentice.
Way to spoil my fun.
The mighty Numa breaks the necks of bulls, bends iron bars, defeats everyone. Numa. His secret lies in the mushrooms and herbs cultivated in Ilander and picked in the mornings by virgin priestesses. They can be yours for a very reasonable price.
I've always been the curious sort.
My little ace tits! No one's ever beaten me!
There's always a first time.
If I give you something, will you keep this to yourself? The circus finds out I lost, they'll can me. The mighty Numa must be invincible. Take this and keep your trap shut. Please.
All right. Thanks.
Bit.
Welcome, Chosen One.
Who are you?
The Ancients vested my soul with the task of operating their most prized artifact as a means of rewarding those proclaimed Chosen Ones.
How exactly does the artifact work?
It allows me to rectify certain errors of the past and enhance the skills of the Chosen One to render him closer to how he would wish to be. However, remember, all things in nature have their price, and this price varies. Are you ready?